I can't believe we're doing this. This is kind of crazy.
It's the last week in January, and here in Pennsylvania we've already been hit with several big storms. Instead of hunkering down, Joanne and I are about to do the opposite. We're headed south on a 1,000-mile road trip to Disney World. In this video we're taking our Rivian R1T Gen 1 quad motor from Bucks County, PA all the way down to Orlando, Florida. The big twist, we're leaving a day earlier than planned to outrun a major nor'easter moving up the East Coast. Forecasters are calling for record cold temperatures in the 30s as far south as Miami, with snow expected in parts of Georgia and South Carolina, and possible power outages along the I-95 corridor. Some areas are still recovering from last week's storm, so we're planning ahead just in case charging stops are affected. Here's what we're doing. First, we're leveraging the Tesla supercharger network. It's the most reliable, and with the Tesla app, it shows real-time charger status so we can see how many stations are active before arriving. Second, we'll charge more than necessary at each stop, about 10 to 15% extra, to give us a safety buffer just in case our next charger is down. And third, we're hitting the road on Thursday night to stay ahead of the storm and reach Florida by Friday evening. According to a better route planner, the trip will take around 20 to 21 hours with 6 or 7 charging stops. But I'm expecting it'll be closer to 22 to 23 hours since we'll stop a little longer for rest. We'll stay tuned to the weather updates to make adjustments as we go. That's our plan. Now let's see how we can make it ahead of the storm and down to Disney World without any hiccups.
I can't believe we're doing this. This is kind of crazy.
It is kind of crazy. First thing, let's go ahead and set up the car to low. If you can go to the gear, yeah.
This one?
Yep. Let's move it to green, and let's put that on low. Lower right. Yep. Okay. And let's reset our trip. Yep. Reset. Okay. So that's reset, and let's drop in where we're headed.
Key West. Here we go.
All right. So we're headed to Old Key West. And as I stated before, we're leaving. We're leaving Thursday night at right after both of us got home from work.
9:18 p.m.
9:18 p.m. And we've got 86% in the truck. And looks like our first stop will be 133 miles in Baltimore, Maryland, with 25%. It's a lot colder. I mean, it's 14 degrees, so we're not going to get anywhere near the mileage that we typically get.
By 11:31, I think we will need a stop to rest a little bit. That's probably a good time to stop.
We're going to take it slow here. We'll probably stop there and sleep. Got the car filled up with the sleeping bags, pillows, and we'll probably charge up a lot more than we typically do. Just to get some sleep. But what the whole plan was here, nor'easter coming up the coast, we need to be past Carolinas and Georgia by tomorrow before it hits, because they're gonna get snow and high winds, and it's just gonna be crazy. Okay, you ready, sweetie?
Ready as I'll ever be. Here we go.
Okay. You already know the plan. Leave a day early, stay ahead of the nor'easter, and try to make it to Florida in about 22 to 23 hours. Tonight, it's finally time to go. We've got the Rivian preconditioned, bags loaded, and our first charging stops locked in. The battery's warm, the cabin's cozy, and outside it's definitely not. Temperatures are sitting well below freezing, so I'm already expecting some winter range loss compared to the normal highway driving. With that in mind, we're starting this trip a little more cautiously. We're leaving Bucks County and heading south towards our first fast charger, and from this point on, every stop is going to be a balance between staying ahead of the storm and keeping a comfortable charging buffer. On our first couple of stops, the goal is simple. Settle into a rhythm. We pull into our first supercharger with about 28% battery, just a little lower than the Rivian predicted, mostly because of the cold and highway speeds. After 2 or 3 chargers, you can really feel the pattern. Drive for a couple hours, stop, plug in, stretch, grab a snack, and repeat. It's not as fast as a gas stop, but it breaks up the drive in a way that actually feels more relaxed. Okay, so we pulled in here about 11:45 with 28%, and we're right outside of Baltimore.
Right outside those tunnels.
And we're getting right now about 178 kilowatts. We had to wait a couple minutes to get a spot because it's pretty crowded, and there's actually several spots that are not open because of plowing. Excuse me, something we'll have to keep an eye out for. Yeah, we've got a good session going at 177%. How long do we have to wait here for? It says trip target 49%, resume trip in about 10 minutes. Maybe do we stick around a little bit longer than that and just close my eye, get some rest? Or
yeah, maybe we'll just close our eyes for a few minutes and see how far it goes.
Okay, that sounds good. We'll let us rest a little bit while this thing is charging. Doesn't look like there's anybody else here waiting for it, so we're okay on that sense.
We're not holding anybody up.
Doesn't look like it. No.
The next one they want us to go to is actually interesting. It's a Rivian Adventure Network in the Spotsylvania Mall. That sounds interesting. In an hour and 38 minutes.
I think we've been there before.
You think that's that mall that we stopped at? That where the chargers were all the way in the back?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, if you want to go there.
Yeah, I'd like to do that, and that might be a place where we can
actually get some rest.
Because it'll be it will be very quiet there, I think, as well.
It'll be past DC, so we'll get out of some of this traffic potentially, and that might be a really good place to rest.
We'll just charge up enough to make it there, and then that'll be a good spot for us to take a rest and get some sleep.
Yeah, I agree. As long as you're okay to drive for another hour and a half, basically.
Yeah, I think so. Yep, that sounds good. Doing pretty good so far, right?
Yeah, I'm okay. And the traffic's been actually it's been decently light, so that's helpful.
Yeah. All right. Charge it up now and let this charge a little bit further, and then we'll go ahead and move forward. Right after I finished that recording, the charger stopped working at about 40%, and every other stall was already full. So instead of waiting around, we looked for another charger nearby. Luckily, there was an Electrify America station just down the road, so we headed there to keep the trip going. I've got to admit I was a little nervous about the trip. Temperatures were well below freezing and the parking lots were covered in snow. When our first charging stop cut off after just 8 minutes, it didn't feel like a great start. Maybe even a sign for what was ahead. Still, I try to stay calm, keep those worries to myself so Joanne wouldn't stress. I just kept reminding myself there are plenty of chargers all along I-95. We've been here 30 minutes. $35. We put in 62 kilowatts? 63 kilowatts. We're at 80%. We're getting like 53 kilowatts now, so I think it's time for us to move.
It's time to go.
Yeah, no, I got a little rest. There was enough time. How long? 30 minutes. So, and cat nap, and we put in. Now we're up to up to 80%.
Where we go next?
Yeah, just put in Old Key West and see where it'll take us here.
62 miles. Where is this one?
162 miles. Wow.
Petersburg, Virginia.
With 13%. Okay. All right. So
I'm
we
sure
got.
there's more in between.
Yeah.
If we don't get there.
Yeah, if we need to stop, right? Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and close up, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so we pulled into Sheetz in Petersburg, Virginia at about 3:30 with 18%. There are 8 Tesla 250 kilowatt superchargers here, and we're getting a solid charge. Plus, we've got the whole place to ourselves. So we're going to be able to sit back, I think, and get some rest now. We're going to let this thing just run and charge up. I'm going to go use the bathroom. Do you want anything?
Go ahead, and then I'll go.
Okay. And then we'll just fill this thing all the way up as much as we can and get some rest. We put in 98 kilowatts and charged up for about 50 minutes. Then we took another hour or so snooze. So we stopped charging about 4:27. It's 6 o'clock now. Joanne is actually in Sheetz grabbing a coffee, maybe some other some chocolate milk for me. We had a good session here and no issues at all. And we just kind of unplugged and kind of got some sleep. We only saw one other car here while we were here, so we weren't holding anyone up. The sun should be coming up in the next half an hour or so. So things are going pretty well, and we'll continue on our ride. Hope Mills, North Carolina, where there are 24 of the new version 4 Tesla superchargers.
With a pull-through.
Yeah, nice.
We're at 502 miles,
Yep.
so we're a little shy of halfway.
Okay.
Like usually Lumberton, I consider halfway,
Yep.
and we're about 40 miles north of Lumberton right now, if I remember from the street signs. So we're getting there.
Yep.
Slowly but surely, but we're getting there. Yeah.
Okay. Good charging here. 208 kilowatts happening right now. 207 kilowatts. Right around 20%. It went up to over 200. All right. So we came in at 11%. We've got 72% for $38. And we've been here 35 minutes. Grabbed some breakfast. Joanne got a coffee. I got some chocolate milk and some yogurt. Ready to move on?
Time to go. Yes.
All right, let's move on. Manning, South Carolina at version 4 superchargers. Boy, it looks like there's like 20 of them here.
It says there are 60 of them here.
60, okay. Right now we've got 32%. We've gone 624 miles. It started right up and we're already getting 176 kilowatts. Yeah, it's about right at 32%. I don't know if we'll get up to 200, but we came in with quite a bit of charge left. So we'll sit here and relax. Need the break anyway. Charge up to as much as what we need for the next stop and probably a little bit longer just to relax a little bit. But looks like things are going well and getting a good 177 kilowatts and things are moving along.
All right, so we are at Yamasi, South Carolina, and we just pulled off the road
to get something to eat
because we wanted to go to Wendy's.
Yeah.
And we found a Wendy's, and lo and behold,
there's a supercharger.
there are superchargers here.
Yeah.
So ABC, always be charging, and we plugged in.
Yep.
So we're getting great speeds.
Yeah.
Maybe this will, I don't know.
Help us. Yeah, we're going to.
It's going to change one of our plans.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to charge up well and hopefully
fuel ourselves because
yeah,
I think
exactly.
we both need some food.
We're getting hangry.
We're ready to eat.
We're getting 216 right now, and I think that's good enough we'll just at 45%, which is pretty impressive. So,
yeah, I think the battery's probably been warmed.
Yeah, we've been driving pretty fast.
So it doesn't say.
Yeah, so we're going to continue to go get something to eat and just let this thing fill up as much as possible.
And then we'll see where we go from there.
Yep. Sounds good. Okay. Okay, we're all charged up to 87%. We're ready to hit the road again. We've already covered 875 miles and just about 175 more to go. As we move further south, the weather actually turns out to be a lot better than expected. The nor'easter is still chasing us down the East Coast, but leaving a day early really pays off. We stay ahead of the worst of it the entire way. Most of the drive is just cloudy and dry with only a bit of rain as we cross the border between Georgia and Florida. It's almost funny checking the radar and seeing all that heavy stuff behind us while we're cruising on mostly clear roads. That was the big question going into this trip. Could we outrun the storm and still keep a comfortable charging buffer? So far the answer is yes. The chargers are online, the roads are clear, and the Rivian is doing exactly what we hoped.
We made it! Florida!
I didn't think it was going to happen.
Once we make it into North Florida, we pull into our last final charging stop of the trip, just north of Jacksonville at around 4:33 p.m. This is our last real stop before Disney. We plug in, stretch our legs, and watch the sun start to drop a bit in the sky while the Rivian takes on its final charge. At this point, we've got more than enough range to reach Orlando without stopping again, which is exactly how I wanted to finish this drive. There's something satisfying knowing this is the last charger of the trip. No more planning, no more buffers, no more checking apps. From here on out, it's straight to Disney World. Okay, we came in with 33% charging up. This should be our last stop. We've got about 130 miles to go. So hopefully we're going to charge enough that way we can have a little bit of a spare. We do have to pick up Abby at the airport tomorrow. So we're going to charge up as much as we can, but we're getting good numbers here. Looks like we're getting 211 kilowatts, and we're right outside of Jacksonville now. So made it to Florida. It's 4:37. We're getting close. This should be the last one. After roughly 23 hours on the road, we finally roll into Disney Saratoga Springs Resort. The contrast with PA in January couldn't be bigger. We checked in, found our room, and stepped out of the Rivian for the first time without a clock ticking down to the next charger. Saratoga Springs has a laid-back vibe, wide pathways, water views, and that classic welcome home greeting you get at the Disney Vacation Club resorts. Looking back at the trip, here's how it all shook out. About 1,050 total miles, 23 hours on the road, and 7 charging stops. Winter definitely hit our range, somewhere in the ballpark of 15 to 25% loss in the coldest stretches, and charging was a bit slower when the battery was really cold. But even with that, the trip was absolutely doable. If you're thinking about doing a similar EV road trip to Disney in the winter, my takeaway is this: plan a little more, charge a little earlier, and don't be afraid to build in extra time for weather and rest. For us, the Rivian made it, we beat the storm, and we're starting our Disney vacation exactly how we hoped. I hope you enjoyed coming along for our straight-through drive to Disney World. If you made it this far and liked the video, please consider subscribing. It really helps me get closer to my goal of 1,000 subscribers. I'd love to hear from you in the earth comments, so feel free to share your thoughts or questions. I read and reply to everyone. And thanks so much again for watching, and have an awesome day. Cheers.